I'm so tired of micromanaging. How do I train, manage, and lead? I can't find time to be visionary. Head down in the weeds.
Module 4, moving on to how to hire with no regrets. Interview, offer, and close like a visionary CEO. This is a moment everything starts to come together. You've clarified the role. For now, it'll always be a work in motion. You've written the magnetic job ad. That will work, I promise you, when you've done it in a magnetic vibrancy and energy. You started sourcing and even had a few great conversations, but now you need to hire like a leader, not a last-minute delegator, because one of the most expensive mistakes you can make in your business is hiring the right energy but the wrong fit, or worse, settling because you're overwhelmed and just need someone in the seat. Let's not do that. In this module, you're going to learn how to ask interview questions that reveal leadership, initiative, and ownership, and confidence. Spot red flags before they cost you time, energy, and money. Craft an offer letter that's confident, clear, and sets the tone for how you lead. Structure-based pay, bonuses, and decision deadlines with zero guilt or confusion or resentment. This is where you move from hopeful hiring to intentional team building. Let's start with your interview process. So exercise 1 is your interview questions that matter. Before we move on to, as you see in the back module, we have our entire Smart Hire solution that we got trademarked. Hiring process, how to start with the 5-minute phone interview, how to do a Zoom interview. But before we move into the interview questions, you want to make certain that you do not skip that 5 to 10 minute phone interview where you are just spot checking and calling people. Their voicemails are going to tell you so much about them. The way they answer the phone, you would be amazed, and maybe you've experienced this as well. How many people I have called when I have that night when I have 47 candidates and the next morning, like I'm going to plow through all these 47. I made a conscious effort to just call every single one of them, just dial for dollars and make a phone call. I could not tell you how many of them, probably the first 8 or 10 were a hell hard no, because of the voice message that they had on there. Or you couldn't leave a message, your voicemail was full, which either means they have debt collectors coming after them, or it typically means that they're so completely disorganized, especially in this generation, they don't even check their voicemails at all. Well, if they're not going to do that for themselves, they sure as hell are not going to do it for you. So you want to make sure you can plow through those resumes so fast. You will, in my experience, get more resumes for an executive assistant for administrative position than you will that you're accustomed to if you've hired for an attorney or a paralegal or a COO, a C-suite position in the past. Those higher paying positions, higher caliber with a niche and such specific needs within them you don't get a tremendous amount of resumes. But my assertion and my experience is that you will for this. So make sure you do the due diligence, or you can delegate that if you have someone on your team or your spouse, or just make sure they have the structure and the framework from the training module in there for the complete Smart Hire solution process. So throw out the typical, what are your strengths questions? What are your weaknesses? We are not hiring for surface level answers. You're hiring for alignment, ownership, and emotional intelligence, or EQ as it's often referenced to. So for example, here are 5 high impact questions to include. Tell me about a time when you had to protect your executive's time. What did that look like? Maybe they haven't worked for a specific executive, fill in the blank based on their resume. Number 2, how do you manage someone's calendar and inbox proactively, not reactively, and not constantly having questions about the content in the email. And be quiet. Number 3, what's your system for keeping follow-ups, projects, and priorities from falling through the cracks? Number 4, how do you handle communication when your leader is moving fast, doesn't always give you clear direction, constantly busy and stressed out, and doesn't give you the proper time and attention you need to get a breakthrough to support them? Number 5, what's your approach to building trust quickly with a new executive? I want you to use this space to write down 2 or 3 of your own questions based on your firm's pain points, based on pain points from the past with anyone that you've ever hired or worked with, maybe at a previous firm or what have you. Okay, now that you've nailed down the interview questions, let's talk about offer structure. So before you make an offer, you want to get clear on base pay range, and hopefully by following the Smart Hire Solution process, you've already asked these questions up front in the initial phone interview. In regards to base pay, this handle, what is your realistic, competitive, and sustainable pay range for this role? So your best pay range, they may have told you they want $18 an hour, and you were really thinking you were going to pay $25 an hour for this. You might offer them $20, $2 more than they had, with a 90-day review, and a bonus structure will kick in at 90 days and the opportunity to move to $22 an hour at that time. So if they say 18, you had 25 in your head, your starting range that you had posted on your job board said starting at 20 or what have you. Just pay attention, because when it gets put in writing and an offer letter comes and they're reviewing it and they're talking to the people in their lives, and then they're doing their math and they're like, oh, I thought I was making 18. Like, all that stuff kills deals, and then egos get in play and things of that nature. So ask the question up front in your phone interview. I want to clarify, you read the job ad, and tell me how much money you're looking to make an hour. You understand this a part-time job, or you understand this a full-time? You understand it's part-time to start and then it'll be full-time. You understand that this is in person or it's virtual, or it's 1 day a week that you're working at my home, 1 day in the office, and the rest of it you're running around, sitting on Zooms, attending meetings, what have you, based on all the previous homework that you did. So you want to be clear about that up front. I see that your commute is 45 minutes each way. That's concerning to me right off the bat. Tell me about a time where you are accustomed to communicating. Yeah, I know my address on my resume says that, but my fiance lives 10 minutes from your office, and actually I'm moving in with him. My lease is up next August or in September or December. Okay, great. So you don't want to just reject people based on their resumes, what have you. So get clear on that base pay. Next is a bonus structure. We have a sample bonus structure in here. We have samples for everything, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the training going through it. We're giving you the framework and the structure to get incredibly clear about how to get somebody hired and doing your due diligence. So what is their performance bonus tied to? Client satisfaction, revenue growth, attorney productivity. Make it clear, make it measurable. Bonus structure plan. So we want to have a start date and decision deadline. Don't leave this open-ended. Nothing should ever be open-ended. Clear, concise, well-communicated, trackable, and measurable. Leaders make offers with boundaries. They're incredibly clear. Again, sample here in the back end of the academy. Ideal start date. Decision deadline. This is where most people fail. You give them a deadline to reply back with if they're going to accept the offer. So make certain. So many people miss this. Then your offer format. You want it to be a written offer. You can include a video call recap if you want. And then my recommendation is you make a phone call. Susie, we are really excited. You are our final candidate and we'd love to extend the offer. I'm going to send you a formal written offer letter. Our request, you'll have that by tomorrow, 5 o'clock, and our request that you get that back to us by Monday or Tuesday at 5 p.m. Does that work for you? Well, I'm going to be on vacation. Okay, great. We can extend it to Thursday. Would that work for you? Perfect. Thank you. Here is something in the world of recruiting, hiring, and staffing. Never make a job offer, send a job offer on a Friday. You can make the phone call on a Friday. I have no idea. It's almost like, is there a full moon out there? It's the exact same thing in the land of recruiting and hiring. Something happens and I'm in a lot of recruiter Facebook groups and things of that nature. And that might be a great place for you to go to look for your EA. Everybody says Fridays are the worst. Something happens over the weekend. I don't know if they have too much time to think about it. They're at happy hour with friends and family and picnics and what have you, and start talking about it. And what? They're only offering you that? What? They want you, all the things, and a confused mind says no. So when there's too many cooks in the kitchen and too many opinions, it just happened. Just make the phone call on a Friday if that's where your offer stage lands, and then tell them you'll send it to them by Tuesday or Monday or what have you. Do not send it on Friday. I don't know why, but that's my professional opinion and experience. Take it or leave it. But if you do send it, I want to hear how it works out. Maybe you're the one who's going to crack this code. So you send it, you have the due date, you have the decision. Your offer letter is simple, it's clean, it's clear. You want to make certain, again, use the sample here. This is not the opportunity to send the entire employee handbook that they're reading. That's 168 pages. Again, a confused mind says no. It's a formal offer. When the onboarding comes, we'll go ahead. Lastly, I want to make sure that you go through the red flag radar. This is exercise number 3 and a starting point, and of course, to add your own. Red flag radar to pay attention to in the interviews. When you hear people say, I'll do whatever you need, but struggles with follow through in your powerful interview questions, talks more about past bosses than about results, can't explain how they organize their day and track their priorities and how they are making a difference in their executives, energy, time, all that. They dodge questions around accountability and boundaries. They're not even clear what those terms mean. So I really want you to get clear and write down 3 red flags that you've ignored in the past, and you're making an unapologetic commitment to yourself again, that you will never ever do that again. You want people in the interview process to show you the math. You want to remember that hiring a true strategic partner starts with you, showing up as a clear, direct, and value-driven leader. And when you're not, the people you're interviewing are clarifying. I want to clarify, when you said it this way before, but then I heard something different. I just want to make sure we're on the same page. The goal of your interview process is not to evaluate them, but to demonstrate your energy and the kind of leader that they'll be supporting. Are you grounded, decisive, visionary? Are you like a ping pong ball, like me, and going a mile a minute? Because the right hire wants to follow someone who knows where they're going and isn't afraid to say, here's what I expect, here's what I offer, here's what we're building. Are you in? And then why are you in? And asking them. So that's a wrap for Module 4. Hire with no regrets. Here's your action plan. Finalize your interview questions. Create your offer letter outline. Again, there's a sample here, always easier to edit than create. Get clear on your pay and your bonus and decision timeline. Again, samples here for you. And get honest about the red flags you're no longer willing to tolerate. In Module 5, we'll talk about the teach, show, do, go, grow method. I'll walk you through how to onboard and train your EA so they don't just do tasks, they own outcomes. This is where the magic happens. And I'll see you in Module 5.
I'm so tired of micromanaging. How do I train, manage, and lead? I can't find time to be visionary. Head down in the weeds.